Okay, so this is a tour of my garden. I'm going to show you some of the bits I do to help out wildlife. Okay, so I'm going to do the tour. Come on, Pep. Come on, sweetheart. So, I'm sure like most of the country, I'm doing lots of gardening, so you have to excuse the mess, but I've been digging up all this gravel. I'm going to relay that. In terms of wildlife, I've got some wildflowers here. I've got Oxeye Daisy and some others in there, because I was meant to be moving house, so that's all kind of stopped now, and they were going to come with me. We've also got some herbs, mint, rosemary, chives, things like that. You're going to see a lot of tubs in my garden. I'm going to explain that in a second. Got my lawn, obviously not particularly good for wildlife, although I have kind of tried to change that. I've got some patches of lavender all along here, and I've also got a great big buddleia, not a native plant, but that does really good for the butterflies in the summer. And then I've also got a strip of flowers that go along here, although obviously they're not out at the moment. More tubs. What are the tubs for? We'll find out in a sec. Lots and lots of kind of flowers over here. Got some more kind of herbs and kind of more alpine plants. More tubs. So the tubs are basically, I keep subjects to photograph, and sometimes they're just in the garden, from the garden rather. Sometimes I bring them in. So I've got around about 40 different species, which is mental when I think about it. To photograph, so I've got plenty of things to keep me busy, but the pride and joy of my garden is my pond. I absolutely love my pond. So I extended this a couple of years ago. It's got lots of vegetation. I mean, if I'm going to recommend plants, I've got marsh marigold, that's a great waterside plant. I have got some hornwort, which is in the water. I've got some watercress at the back, you can see the watercress there. That's really good for the frogs and things to hide in. We did have a bit of a frost last night, which is taking its toll on my frog spawn, so I'm going to try and get a bit closer in, but you can see some of that mess, that froth. That is some of the frog spawn that I've got. Not content at one pond, I've also got a little mini pond, I don't know if you can see just down there, got my little bug hotel there, and I've also got a pond at the back, so you can never have too many ponds. This mat here that you can see is a hibernaculum. So underneath that I've got lots of dead wood, and that's for the frogs, newts and things to hibernate in. I've got a couple of small apple trees, that's to kind of encourage birds and things like that. And then I've got a couple of bird boxes, a robin one round there, and a bird feeder. So it's not the prettiest garden by any stretch of the imagination, but Pepper, don't eat that. Come on sweetheart, stop doing that. But I do what I can in a relatively small garden for wildlife. So yeah, that's my garden. That's what I do for wildlife. Let's see yours. Show us your garden.